made for teenagers. I'm sure everyone's invited to the party, and recently some people are talking about something called adult rock. Still, if it doesn't make the grade in high school, it's not quite rock and roll. And when it's music made for teenagers by teenagers, then it's surely the real thing. A year ago, a 16-year-old Long Island girl scored big with her first hit, Only in My Dreams. 3 more followed in rapid succession. She writes them, she sings them, she even produces them herself. Out of the blue, here's Debbie Gibson.
1, 2, 3, 4. You can't go, boy. We've been over it 100 times, but this one's different. This time, I'm not asking what you think. I'm telling you, we're staying together, whether you like it or not. Here we go. Thought that I would get up and go. Oh, baby, got something you should know. I got one thing on my mind. We're staying together. When I tell you, boy, that just isn't right, I won't say goodbye without a fight. 'Cause you and me are staying together. How you doing, New York? Woo! Don't you say goodbye to me, boy. There's something you should know. Here's love before your eyes. Since you go, my heart would leave me. When you walk out that door, like I told you before, let's stay together. When you thought that I would stand by your side, you know me, boy, I never ever lied. 'Cause you and me are staying together. So we were so much more than love at first sight. You say you'll stay, say you might, and say we are staying together. Don't you say goodbye to me, boy. There's something you should know. Here's love before your eyes. And if you go, my heart would leave me. When you walk out that door, it's like I told you before, let's stay together. 'Cause I don't know, baby, what you've done. Don't know, baby. I only know you were always the only one. And we can go, so take my heart away from me. And leave it out of sight. 'Cause you're the only one, you're the only one who could ever hold me. Here's love to me. And if you go, my heart would leave me. When you walk out that door, we're together. Don't say goodbye to me, boy. It's over before you lie. Don't even think about it. And if you go, my heart would leave me. When you walk out that door, let's go together. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. It's love. It's right before you. It's right before you right. Yeah. love again the way I loved you. I could never cry again like I did when I left you. And when we said goodbye, look in your eyes, just let me be found myself without your heart. I could never love again now that we're apart. Oh, can't you see I'm not with nobody? Don't you see the tears are falling down my face since you went away? Break my heart, you slipped away. Didn't know I was wrong. Never meant to hurt you. Now you're gone. I could never love again now that we're apart. Now that we're By the way, at the end, that was Fred Farr on the piano. Thanks, Fred. Woo! Okay. Whoa, whoa. Come on now. This is New York. Put your hands together. Yeah. dreams. Every time I'm telling secrets, I remember how it used to be, and I realize how much I miss you, and I realize how it feels to be free. And now I see I'm up to no good, and I wanna start again. Still remember when I felt good, baby. No, I can't remember. Only in my dreams, as soon as it may seem, it was only in my dreams. Take it out of me. Only in my dreams, as soon as it may seem, it was only in my, it was only in my, it was only in my, only in my dreams, as soon as it may seem, it was only in my. I've been listening to. You guys are wild! Woo! I've been listening to Atlanta back since I was really little, and I'm glad to be representing the new generation of artists. And everyone in my band and myself, we'd like to wish Atlantic Records a rockin' happy birthday. Ready? 2, 3! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Let me hear you now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Atlantic. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Thank you. Have a good night.
We're back. We're back. That was Debbie Gibson. We're going to talk to her as soon as she comes off the stage. We have a lot of surprises tonight, so stay tuned. We've got some people that are going to be reunited here live only on HBO, only here, Atlantic Anniversary's 40th. And so when Debbie comes down, we're going to talk to her and find out if she really is 16. I think she's older. I think she's going into 17, and that 16 rumor has got to go. But we're going to talk to her as soon as she comes because she writes her own songs, produces them. She has a studio in her bedroom. And as she comes down and she's working her way down now, we're going to talk to Debbie. And like I said, we got a lot of surprises. A lot of people are here. You know, people are crying. People are laughing. I mean, 40 years is a lot of time to deal with music. And I think Debbie's coming down now. Excuse me. Here she is. Excuse me, sir. You're back. I don't want to see your back. Hello, Debbie. How you doing? I love the work. You're sweating up a storm. Pop makeup. Get makeup over here. Make her look glamorous. No, but I just want to say congratulations on everything. And you really are 16 years old.
17.
You just turned 17.
No, I guess the press is a little behind.
The press is behind. She's 17. See, So anyway, I just want to say congratulations. You write all your own stuff?
Yep.
What gives you your inspiration?
Let's see, I'll hear a catchy phrase or something and I'll just make up a story. Or else, you know, I've had a couple of boyfriends. Never been through a traumatic romance, but you know, you can still write about it.
But I mean, no, it's honest, it's fun. I mean, and it's like where you're at right now, so it's like all about your life.
Yeah, I hope to, you know, as I grow and develop, my songs will grow and develop, and
Do you really have a studio in your bedroom?
not my bedroom, in my garage.
In your garage, you have a studio. No, some press guy was going around. She has it in her bedroom. I said, how do you know? He says, I don't know. So anyway, you have it in your garage, though.
Got a 12 track at home that I work on producing demos and stuff like that.
Where do you get all your energy from?
I don't know, you know.
You're up there dancing. You got your dancers, you know, the Debbie Gibson dancers. And they're jamming. I mean, it looks great.
I'm young, I'm happy, I, you know, eat my Wheaties, I don't know.
I mean, but do you find, success, is it hard, for you, or do you find it easy? Like you're still in high school.
It's fun, though. I like to keep everything balanced. I mean, my friends are out there in the audience, you know. Hopefully we'll hang out later.
Oh, really? So your friends are out there hanging out, just watching. So they're very supportive. That's really, if I don't know, being in high school, and you don't get a lot of jealous people on there.
You get some, you know, you get, basically, though, I just stick with my same group of friends, and...
Well, that's the way to be, but that's really great. Are you working on a new album now?
Yeah, I am. It'll be out in October or November.
So you're going back to your garage?
No, that's not where I do the album.
So when she leaves here, she's going to a garage to do songs. No, that's really great. Who inspired you to want to write and think that you could write and produce your stuff?
I don't really know. I'm kind of like self-motivated, but, you know, the radio, you know, I used to always listen to the radio when I was like 4 and 5. And that's when I started writing, when I was about 5.
About 5 years old? 5 years old you started?
I turned everything into a song. I'll get a letter from someone, and I used to, like, when I was about 8 or 9, I used to sit it on the piano and put it to music, you know.
Did your family take you serious at 5 years old?
Well, you know, obviously my mom said, my mom thought that the fact that you were writing any songs at 5 showed that I had potential. You know, not that she really thought that was like a classic or anything, but...
Thank you very much for talking with us. Wipe the sweat off her brow, please. Where is makeup? Where is makeup? Thank you, Debbie Gibson. Some heads are going to roll. Some heads are going to roll. I'm going to take you to the stage to my friend on stage, Mr. Phil Collins. Take it away, Phil. Right.
Hey, that's all part of it. That's a very small price to pay, I think.
For the past year, Debbie Gibson, the 17-year-old singer from Long Island, New York, has been taking the music industry by storm. And Saturday night's New York Music Awards were no exception. She won 2 Debut Artist of the Year and Debut Album of the Year for Out of the Blue, which is currently number 10 on Billboard charts. Gibson's success is homespun. She produced that album in her family's garage on a 4-track tape machine. The first single released, Only in My Dreams, stayed on Billboard's pop chart for 28 weeks. Her second single, Shake Your Love, was just as successful and reaffirmed everyone's fascination with Debbie Gibson. The success of her title single, Out of the Blue, definitely is not. Last week it hit number 3, however fell to number 11 this week. But with an original song repertoire numbering in the hundreds, Debbie Gibson is sure to last in a business that is known for flash-in-the-pan fame.
Joining us now live in our New York studios is the artist herself, Debbie Gibson. Debbie, congratulations on your awards and your success.
Thanks.
You have written 100 songs, more than 100 songs?
About 300 now.
Now, where did the ideas come from? A 17-year-old young lady that comes up with so many ideas for so many different songs.
Well, I just kind of observe everything that goes on around me, and, you know, you have to be careful what you say around me because it may turn into a song.
Who do you aim the songs at, adult audience or other teenagers?
Really, I just concentrate on the song itself, and, you know, whoever it reaches, it reaches. And, you know, I'm currently working on my second album, and I think that it'll have a broader range of appeal. I think that it'll bring in more of an adult audience. And, you know, it's like, I think that a teen artist will have a teen audience anyway, so I really hope to bring in more adults to my audience.
What makes you different from other singers your age that are out there? There seems to be a few around now, and of course, Tiffany comes to my mind first. What makes you different?
Well, let's see. I mean, I can understand where comparisons come in, obviously, because there aren't that many young singers out now. I really think that I guess one of the most obvious differences is that I write my own songs. But, I don't think that, I think that if a singer has the potential to make hit records, that, I think it's a matter of, well, you've got to use whatever you have to its fullest potential and do what you can, use whatever you have. And I mean, I have Tiffany's tape. I think that she's a good singer.
You're doing what you've wanted to do since you've been a little girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it everything that you thought it would be or wanted it to be?
Definitely. I was very prepared for the work aspect of it and everything because I guess I grew up doing a lot of musical theater and commercials and things like that. So, I knew that it was hard work. I didn't have like this fantasy of it being all glamour and stuff. But, it's great because I finally have the opportunity to work with really talented producers and talented musicians and, have my music reach more than just my family. It's really exciting to go do a concert and see 3,000 kids or 5,000 kids singing along, and it's been great.
A lot of those kids in the audience might be some of your classmates, right? You're still in high school.
Yeah.
How has that changed for you?
Well, let's see. I guess that there's been a certain amount of sacrifice and a lack of privacy sometimes, but really, I still have the same friends. I go to the same school. I do the same things. I make an effort to keep a balance between normal 17-year-old life and a professional career.
Well, we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Debbie Gibson, thank you for being with us, and Liz and I will
dance and pop charts. None of them has been more successful, though, than Debbie Gibson. She hit the top 5 with Only in My Dreams and Shake Your Love. And on Thursday in New York, she shot a video for the title track from her album Out of the Blue. And Debbie has helped launch the return of teenage stars to the pop charts. And this week, she's the subject of our Week in Rock profile.
Dance music has been known as a passing fad, but people have always danced, People have always looked for music with a good beat. It's just been kind of put into its own category, which I think is great because, hey, it deserves recognition. And, it's a real big part of today's music. And, my music is more of a crossover, because you can not only dance to it, you can sit and listen to it. It's melodic because I come from a musical background. Well, I'm constantly writing, and, I don't write with album in mind. I write, I'm up to close to 300 songs, and, I just keep writing, and once it comes time for the next album, I just sit down and pick 10, which is sometimes difficult. I usually think of catchy phrases or something, I must have heard something to do with shake, and that's what I do, and I'll just start going, shake your love. And once I get that as a basic idea, I develop a storyline around it. I feel, I'm involved in the plot and, the setting of the video. I would like to learn more about making videos and, more of the technical aspect as well, Right now I'm basically concentrating on the music and, eventually, sure, I'll be in there editing my own video someday. It's really good to see young talent. I think that teens are really in touch with what's going on, and, other teens can relate to their music, our music, I should say. I do learn a lot from working with other producers. And, a lot of good ideas come with collaboration. I think I would like to produce a few more songs on my own, and, really it was, I work at home in my own studio, and the thing that came with working in a studio with other producers and musicians was I learned where to draw the line between, what the producer does, what the arranger does, because, at home I'm playing producer, arranger, musicians, artists, so you do learn a lot from working with other people. Let's see. I hope to win a Grammy Award, and I want to do a duet with Billy Joel, so I hope that will be next.
Host this week, it's Debbie Gibson. Debbie, I know you're pretty busy. Your single's going to #1 this week. Your prom's coming up, but thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
We're going to be talking to you a little later in the show. Right now, let's go to the news.
The concert last week dealt with the rapidly growing cause of animal rights. This Washington, D.C. concert was sponsored by an organization called People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and it was the largest event of its kind. Likely Prince protégés and a chat with the Sugar Cubes on MTV. Daryl Hall and John Oates are the top hit-making duo of the 80s, but they split up for the past 3 years to pursue some individual projects and generally to give their act a rest. Well, now they're back with their new Ooh Yeah album, a major tour, and all kinds of plans for the rest of the decade. Playing Binghamton, New York next Friday. A band from a really cold place, Iceland to be exact. Their first record, Birthday, was named Single of the Year by England's Melody Maker last year, and their debut album, Life's Too Good, was described by one British reviewer as, quote, one of the greatest LPs I've ever heard. That's a nice compliment. This week, with no track record and no single out in this country, the Sugar Cubes album broke into the Billboard charts. And next week, it acquires a bullet. You'll be hearing a lot more from this band. Right now, in fact. They're here in the studio with us, and Kurt's going to have a little talk with them.
Thanks, Debbie.
With the return of Devo and the results of our viewers poll when the Week in Rock continues. Still in form, you know.
Yeah.
Ready? Wait. Knees, knees.
Fearsome. That was just great.
I'll stay away from that.
Right now, we've got some results in on our viewers' poll about rock benefits. Should they continue or should they cease? Here's what you had to say. Thanks for all your calls, and if there are any questions you'd like to have voted on by Week in Rock viewers in future shows, send them on in.
10 years ago, Devo was the walking definition of new wave music. The band has been lying low for the last 4 years, but now they're back with a new LP and a whole new show. We caught up with them recently at a multimedia dance party in New York, and it looks something like this.
I thought you want to share with us about that, I suppose.
I'll skip that.
All right. I really appreciate your being here this week. We need someone to do this. What's going on in your life right now? The single goes to #1 next week.
Yeah, I'm so excited
Graduation,
about that.
the prom.
Yeah,
You know.
and I'm in the middle of working on my second album, and we're planning to go on tour.
Starting when?
July 1st. We're kicking it off in Boston. And let's see, we'll finish the album up after the tour. And my sister's getting married in October. And
What a busy gal.
yeah, I can't wait to graduate.
Is it hard for you to maintain like a normal life at all? You seem to be a pretty down-to-earth person, but with all this going on, do you have to really struggle to be...
I think that if you want to, it can be done, you know. As long as when I'm away, you know, I call my friends, and when I'm home, I, you know, make sure I keep that couple of days for myself every week. And, you know, I've got a good family, and, you know, that's about it.
What are you going to be doing after graduation? Where's everybody going? You know, to a hamburger joint or what? What's going to be happening?
Let's see. That's a good question. I don't really know yet.
You're supposed to know this stuff.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Have you brought your prom dress?
Yeah, I found it in England.
What's it look like?
What's it look like? It's blue, and it's like strapless, and it goes right below the knee, and it's kind of bunchy up top, and it's a really cool color. Actually, I found that I was doing promotion there, and I had an hour's lunch break, and I ran across the street to Hyper, which is a clothing store, and it just jumped out at me, and I bought it.
Wow, shopping with Debbie. All right, Carolyn Heldman's going to be back next week when we look back at the first half of 1988 in a special edition of the Week in Rock. Until then, we leave you with Dire Straits and Eric Clapton from Freedom Fest at London's Wembley Stadium.
Girls scored big. The first hit, Only in My Dreams. 3 more followed in rapid succession. She writes them, she sings them, she even produces them herself. Out of the blue, here's Debbie Gibson.
I'm glad to be representing the new generation, you know, and when I first started, you know, kind of coming up to Atlantic Records and, you know, they were listening to my tapes, I was, you know, it's such a family around here, and I was sure that this was a record company for me. And I was at a show, it was like a rock and roll show, and I saw him mid there, and I went up to him and introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Debbie Gibson, and I'm going to be on your label soon, wait and see." And, you know, now I remind him of the story, and he remembers, and, you know, kind of laughs about it.
Youth has nothing to do with age. It's electric.
This is going to be my 7th video. I think it's time to do something really extraordinary. It's a high-tech sounding song, and I think that it deserves kind of high-tech video. Initially, Atlantic was like, what? You know how much this is going to cost, and this and that? And people really haven't seen me dance yet, and I wanted to show that aspect also. And on the album, there really aren't any other songs that could lend themselves to this elaborate video.
And what if we could have two people on these glasses doing the split weave? It would just look great if we spread out, because it's going to turn the color on that word.
Okay.
Barry later came up with the choreography. We worked for a week finding things that would be, you know, sort of comfortable for me. And then he came out to LA and worked with the other dancers and put us all together, and I'm really happy with everything.
Good.
Take one. Take two. Recorded the song. There's a trumpet part in the intro that goes dun, 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 dun. And for some reason I always had this image of, you know, sort of royal trumpet players up in the tower. So we decided to just go with that whole look and do all the dancing on like the drawbridge. And the band will be playing in like a dungeon type room. And it should be interesting.
If you can't have fun at it, there's no point in doing it.
You feel like she could be like the person you go to school with, you know, and her music is good and it's fun and it's up and kids like it.
Well, for me, she's still my daughter, Deborah, who sings and is very successful at it.
She is very grounded, and it's nice to see someone so young handle their success so well.
I think luck could get you a break, but there's no such thing as a whole career based on luck. You know, you've got to have something to back it up. I've always been very, very optimistic, and I mean, instead of just kind of dreaming about becoming a performer, I just always performed, you know. I always did something about it. And, you know, I used to watch the Grammy Awards and all the award shows and say, oh, it's going to be me someday. And so I always thought very optimistically, you know. But now now that I see how many new artists come out and, you know, some really talented artists who their records may never see the light of day just because of timing and this and that, you know, I guess I'm lucky in that sense. My whole thing is that I like writing songs that people can relate to on an everyday level. So, you know, I'm pretty much like an everyday kind of person, and that's what I want. That's how I want to stay. You know, there are certain changes, but, you know, I'm just more into hanging out with my friends at home rather than, you know, going to a party because I'm going to get a photo taken. You know, and so I know it's important to me, so you know, hopefully I won't change too much.
In this edition of Cover Story with singer-songwriter Debbie Gibson, we joined the everyday teen star in a celebrity-filled Hollywood party celebrating the release of her new album, Electric Youth. When Debbie was 2 years old, she asked her parents for a guitar, but Joe and Diane Gibson thought a ukulele was more suited for her size. At 5, Debbie started taking piano lessons and writing songs. Debbie and her 3 sisters, Karen, Michelle, and Denise, all took music lessons. But Debbie was the only one to want to pursue a musical performing career. By the time Debbie graduated from Calhoun High School in Merrick, Long Island, she had become, at 17, the youngest artist in the history of pop music to write, perform, and produce a #1 single, Foolish Beat, from her triple platinum first album, Out of the Blue. Now with her second album, Electric Youth, Debbie has proved to the music world and her critics she's more than just another teenage passing fancy. Debbie Gibson is a real talent to be reckoned with.
I've studied piano since I was 5, and I started doing theater at that time also. You know, I just got a lot of experience, took a lot of, you know, a lot of classes in dance and singing and just everything. Well, the first song I ever wrote was when I was 5, and it was called Make Sure You Know Your Classroom. I couldn't even actually write, so my sisters had to help me write out the words. But that was about starting school. And I wrote on and off about different experiences. I mean, we got a dog, and I wrote a song called My Puppy Grew. And we got, you know, we went to visit my relatives on the farm, and I wrote a song, you know, I would just write songs about anything. And of course they were so silly then, those songs, but you know, the more I experienced, the more the songs, you know, my mother started saying, maybe we have something here, you know. And I wrote seriously from the time I was 12 years old, I would say. Sometimes people just assume that parents like push their kids into the business. And the great thing about my parents was they always said, whenever you want to stop music lessons, tell us if you want to. And if you want to continue, go right ahead. You know, we always had the option. They didn't put a gun to our heads and say, you know, you have to become a star or anything like that. So that was always really good to know, because it's really sad. I've seen a lot of little kids get pushed into the business by their parents. And, I mean, they're burnt out by the time they're 10.
If she were happy, you know, if she would be happier in another field, I would encourage her to do it. Because I really do believe you go around once in this life and you should be happy.
My mother says, you know, if you want to go be a doctor, go be a doctor. If you want, you know, she just says, whatever you want to do, I'm behind you 100%. I get lost in your eyes, and I feel my spirits rise, and soar like the wind. This is love that I am. I always had one piano teacher. His name was Morton Estrin, and he used to always say, you know, you could be a wonderful concert pianist, but yeah, I never really wanted to be a concert pianist. I like the hyper atmosphere more. track and a synthesizer and a drum machine. And, you know, when I was like 13, I was working on my own demos at home and learning, you know, which was probably the best thing I could have done. Because when you go into another studio, you're just at the mercy of, you know, whoever else is there. And it was great because I was able, you know, I always had so many ideas in my head because I'll sit at the piano and I'll ad-lib and I'll basically come up with an arrangement. So all I really needed was the tools to get this on tape. And so then we upgraded to a 12-track studio, and now we're upgrading to 24. So I'll be able to do my actual records in my home.
And I never thought of Deborah as anyone special, you know, growing up. She was just my sister, you know, but someone very normal can do what they want to do. If, you know, if they have a certain amount of talent and if they try and, you know, reach the right channels, and it's encouraging in a sense.
I really look like an everyday person. I sort of blend in with the other, like, 1,000 teenage girls that are walking around the mall. So, you know, it's not that it's like, that I'm like crazy looking or very rock and roll looking, you know. So I don't call that much attention to myself, you know. A lot of people, I think, know my songs more than they know my face. And, you know, I'd rather someone come up to me and say, oh, I like your new record. You know, it's more important. And I don't know how the ideas kind of pop into my head, they just do. So I realized that was kind of my niche when I was little, you know, playing piano and stuff like that.
Every time until a secret, I remember how it used to be, and I realize how much I miss you, and I realize how it feels to be free.
I was playing a lot of demos for Atlantic, and when we were first recording Only in My Dreams, Atlantic put me together with Fred Czar. You know, so we know this great producer, and he's mainly done arranging, you know, but even a lot of the arranging stuff he did, he should have gotten like a production credit because it was a lot of his work. And, you know, so I said, great, you know, let's give it a try.
When I was first introduced to her, she hadn't made any records yet. She had made demos of a lot of songs, and I was told that she was very talented. And when we met, you know, it took a little while, you know, she's kind of watching out, you know, for who's working with her, but we got along real well. And she's very talented. She's extraordinary to work with. She really knows what she's doing, and it's a pleasure to work with her.
I always had in mind, you know, from the time I was really young that I wanted to do an album of all my own songs. And, you know, so when I first saw, like, the first album, it was like, wow, it's vinyl. The songs are actually on vinyl, you know. That was just thrilling. It was really exciting because, I mean, even making demo tapes is exciting, just to have your work, you record it. And, but the fact that it was done in the right way, you know, just not as a demo, it was definitely, you know, big dream come true. My family and friends helped tremendously by calling the radio stations, walking the records right into the clubs. You know, once that single started doing well, I then had the opportunity to do the album. So, you know, that was great that everyone was willing to help so much.
Well, it took a lot of support from her family and friends and her record company to get her going. And there were a lot of skeptical people, but pretty much everyone who was close to her had faith that she could become someone big. So everyone kept trying, and it happened.
One day I came home from school, and I got a message on the answering machine from my mother. She was calling from work, and she said, you know, oh, you know, such and such a station played it today. And I was like, oh my God, you know, when is it going to come on again? And of course it was in this light rotation. It was being played like every 10 hours or something. So we had the radio going nonstop, and we happened to be in the car. And I was with my dad and my younger sister and my mom, and actually I was on the way back from voice lessons in the city, and we had the radio on low because we listened to the station constantly waiting for it to come on. And then I heard the first, like, the 12-inch starts, doom, 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 and I heard that, and I was like, oh my God, is this it? You know, turn it up. And my dad was like driving to the beat. We thought he was going to drive off the road, and that was really exciting. It took us by surprise that day, definitely.
Shake your love, I just can't shake your love. Shake your love, I just can't shake your love. Shake your love, I just can't shake. Shake your love, I just can't shake your love.
Recording and performing are very different. I mean, it's great to be in the studio because you can experiment. You have lots of time to work things out. But the bottom line is, like I said, if you can't do it live, then you can't do it, because there are a lot of people who are sort of created in the studio, and they, you know, they sing things word at a time, and they really can't sing. And so when you get up there on stage, you know, you really prove yourself to people.
Please welcome Debbie Gibson.
Being on the road in general is hard, but you know, it's worth it for the hour and a half, 2 hours you're on stage. You know, because I'm more of like a homebody, so I miss mom's and grandma's great Italian meals and stuff like that, you know. But I love the tour bus, actually.
She can come back, you know, from doing a show and be able to sit down with her sisters and play Monopoly or whatever, you know. And where a lot of people, after they perform, they're out in the bars or whatever, you know. And the family has been a tremendous help. There's no question about it. Her sisters work with her. You know, her sister Michelle does a lot of her styling and her clothing. And it's kind of like the dream for any parent. You know, the children's careers and lives are really meshed together.
I love putting together like an elaborate production, because I know when I go to a show, I want to be entertained. So, you know, I put together choreography, and, you know, I had the piano rolled on for a few of the songs, and, you know, we had the ramps, and the band, they were pretty much all guys from Long Island. And, you know, everyone in the beginning said, oh, don't you think we should just call, you know, regular touring musicians? And I said, no, I sort of want to put together a band that I know I can keep working with. And, you know, they kind of blew everyone away, so that was exciting. You can take me to the sky. It's like being lost in heaven. When I'm lost in your eyes, I just fell. The Lost in Your Eyes video I co-directed, and I drew out a storyboard with like stick figures and stuff like that. I sent it to Jim Yukich, who he directed my last video also, and he was cracking up when he got it, because I mean, it was like, it was a pitiful artwork, but the video stayed true to that original storyboard I made. So it was just kind of like seeing a cartoon come to life. And I want to get more involved in the editing process. That's something I really haven't had a chance to do, you know, because they worked here in L.A. and I was busy doing stuff in New York. And I'd like to, when I have some time, maybe take a film course, you know, something in film production. What I'm difficult. It's not all glamour, you know, definitely not. So I think that everything I did when I was a lot younger really helped to prepare me for this, for what I'm doing now.
We have just received the official announcement. Debbie Gibson is in the building.
Dance Party USA asked me if I wanted to take part in this, you know, win a free concert at a school contest. And so, you know, it was like kind of like a school spirit thing. Whichever school sent in the most postcards, I would go and they would tape the show at the high school and I would perform like a few songs. But we decided once we were there, we did a whole concert for them. And it was so much fun because that was something I could really relate to.
Debbie Gibson! Yeah! You think we should probably get her to come back and do another one tonight or what?
I'm like more at home on stage than I am probably anywhere. So that's the best part about it, you know, coming right in contact with the fans and, you know, getting that instant audience response and just seeing everyone have a good time and singing along with the songs and, you know, that's my favorite part. I guess in school there were like 3 different reactions. There were those who were sort of resentful. They said, oh, you know, she happened to have a lucky break, and parents with money, which was so untrue. My parents were, you know, my mother was a secretary, my dad works for the airlines. And then there were those who suddenly were like, oh yeah, I know her, she's my best friend, you know? And then there were my friends. And, you know, luckily I was able to tell the difference. And my friends just remained my friends because obviously my close friends knew that I was working on this. You know, working in my studio at home and stuff instead of going to a party. And, you know, they really saw that it involved sacrifice, so they can appreciate, you know, all the work that went into it.
She's still very much the same. Her room is a mess. She hates to do the dishes. You know, there are definitely like 2 sides of her. The personal side, which is very young, and the professional side, which is very mature. You know, she loves to go out with her friends, and she loves to gab on the phone, and we still talk about the phone bill, and, you know, all of those things. But on the professional side, she's, you know, she's got it all together.
I'm really excited about the new album because we spent like 4 to 5 months on it, which is, to me, you know, a good amount of time. Not like a month and a half, you know? So I feel much more strongly about this album. Well, the song Electric Youth basically is about treating young people like people and taking their ideas seriously. Because when my records first started coming out, everybody sort of capitalized on my age. Oh, young. And I was sitting there saying, what's the big deal? I've met a lot of kids, you know, young kids who have lots of great ideas. And look at the Olympics. You know, you see 15 and 16-year-olds winning the gold medals, and you know, so I don't think it should be that big of a deal. I think, you know, music is for all ages.
I think she's going to have a very long career if that's what she wants. The records are doing great, you know, her appearance is doing great. And we had, because it was the second album and the first one was so successful, we had the opportunity to spend more time when we wanted to. So we didn't have to settle for anything. It was great.
I feel very happy. And, you know, I don't know if there are that many people that can say that. I mean, a lot of people aren't happy at their jobs because it's just not what they really want to be doing. And I'm just really thankful that I can be doing exactly what I want to be doing. And, you know, because the fans out there keep buying the records, it's like, you know, I can keep doing it for myself and for them, and that's a really great feeling. Writing a screenplay. I used to do TV commercials and theater, so I'd like to get back into doing, you know, maybe a film and also theater. And, you know, because I can write and produce and arrange, I mean, you know, someday when I want to get married, which is definitely in the far future, but you know, I think I can stay home. I can write and produce for other artists, and you know, there are a lot of aspects of this business that I'd like to explore. So I'll keep myself quite busy. I think I need all this time. I'm glad I started this young.
Chris and Mike discover a deadly life insurance policy on Diamonds today at 6. Now stay tuned to Sally Plays Midwife on Bustin' Loose. Next on USA.
That was, I guess everyone kind of wanted to be able to...
And here's the young Debbie Gibson. Laid-back comedian Steve Wright.
Who certainly showed enterprise. When she entered a professional songwriting competition at the age of 12. And here, just 6 years later, she's one of the biggest, most successful recording artists in America. Miss Debbie Gibson.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here, and I think that's a big key. People don't just like one particular kind of music. You've got heavy metal, rock, dance, pop, everything.
From White Lion to...
My name is Debbie Gibson. Hi, Debbie. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Congratulations on winning Songwriter of the Year. That's quite an honor.
Thank you. It feels great.
Kids at dance parties love you.
Thank you. Well, I have them to thank, for the success of the song. So, thank you.
How do you feel about the impact you've had on the kids today?
It feels great. I mean, it feels great that, I haven't resorted to any crazy kind of an image. I haven't resorted to sexy kind of an image. I've been really just very much myself, and so it feels great to have, a good reception to that. It feels really good.
You have quite an influence, I know, on a lot of teenagers around. They want to be like Debbie Gibson. Do you have any suggestions or anything to tell the wannabe Debbies out there?
Just really be yourself. Don't want to be me, want to be yourself. And, it's like my image has been really clean cut and everything, and I really believe strongly in that. I believe you get ahead by having a good head on your shoulders and really going after what you want.
Are there any plans for a tour this summer?
Yes, I'm going to start touring in August in the U.S., and then I'm going to be going to England and Japan, and coming back to the U.S. We'll be finishing up at the end of December.
That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
I'm here with a
Teenager, especially the group I hang around with. I mean, I am like your typical shopaholic and moviegoer.
When she's not in Japan or England or making a video, Debbie still makes time to hang out with her friends and be a normal teenager.
Thanks a lot, Deb.
You're welcome, Daddy.
And even though she's a music star herself now, Debbie still has stars in her eyes.
My absolute favorite is Billy Joel, and I know that'll be, that'll be a very scary thing to meet him one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Debbie Gibson!
If you really want to do something badly, nothing comes easy, and nothing is all wonderful all the time. When I have the most fun is when I'm on stage.
Debbie is the hardest working teenager around. Maybe that's the most difficult thing to remember about her, is that she is still a teenager.
You buy me a beer, I can't drink beer. I'm 17.
And some things do slip through the cracks. Debbie wants a car but hasn't even had time to get her learner's permit. And as for boys, well, she is awfully busy.
I'm not interested in anything serious right now, so, I just like people I could have fun with. I don't really, have to have Mr. America, but, being cute doesn't hurt.
Superstardom is just around the corner for Debbie Gibson because of her talent, not gimmicks.
I do want to depend on my music, though, if I'm going to be a superstar, not an image.
Debbie's image is that of herself, a normal teenager. And for Debbie, keeping that image may be the biggest challenge of her career.
I still feel like a regular kid. I feel like a busy, irregular kid, but I still feel like a regular kid. And I would never want to give this up.
Check it out. We'll be right back with Showbiz. Her mom consented, and Gibson gave us a look at her prized new bikes when we caught up with her for a preview of the tour on her last day of rehearsal.
Truthfully, in the car ride over here, I was thinking, when was the first time that MTV came down to a video or something? And that's funny you should mention it, because yeah, Shake Your Love was the first time.
Shake your love. Shake your love. I just can't shake your love. Shake your love. I just can't shake your love. Shake.
Debbie's still doing Shake Your Love, only this time it's in preparation for her biggest tour yet, which will keep her on the road through the end of the year. But she's got all sorts of projects that we could talk about, like her new Electric Youth perfume.
Well, if you find my mom, I think she wears it now. It smells kind of like fruity and fun, and not like you borrowed your grandmother's perfume, Okay, we're ready.
But on to the tour, which was in its final day of rehearsal on Wednesday.
Let's put it this way. The show is ready right now, but, you pay more attention to detail as, with every day. We'll be in the middle of a song, and the lighting director's always taking notes, and I go home and I watch tapes of the show, and I take notes, and it's the little details that really make it, special.
Debbie is, after all, a ripe old 18 this year. So as a progression from the cotton candy feel of her first tour, this time she's promising a show that's somewhat more mature, more theatrical, and longer, 2 hours plus every night.
The show's going to have a lot of energy, but at the same time, when the show's longer, it's like I could settle into it more. Last year, the show was like hour and 20 minutes, and in a sense, you know, the whole show is really, really hyper. And, you know, now I could, like, take my time with it more, and you know, I feel like I could show people more of what I can do, so that's another difference.
Gibson's tour next stops in Toronto on Friday. That is the news for now. We'll have more later.
Now she's developing quite an association with one of TV's biggest recent hits, ABC's Emmy-nominated show, The Wonder Years. Gibson's latest video, No More Rhyme, starts off with a cello performance from young Danica McKellar, who plays Fred Savage's best girl, Winnie, in the show. Now, it turns out Debbie's also recorded 2 songs for a Wonder Years soundtrack album. It's due out this fall.
One is an original, and I'm also doing a Still of the Night on that. So I was in recording today, and the song is called Come Home. You know, when I heard about this project, I was so excited because The Wonder Years is like my favorite show. So I said, sure, I could come up with something for this show.
Well, that Wonder Years album will be a collection of actual pop hits from the 60s, like Van Morrison's Brown-Eyed Girl, and covers of classic songs by current artists, including the Escape Club, doing the Doors' 20th Century Fox, Was Not Was doing the Four Tops' Baby I Need Your Lovin', and a new version of the Rolling Stones' Ruby Tuesday by Julian Lennon. Meanwhile, Debbie Gibson's current U.S. tour will play Rochester, New York on Thursday night. And that'll do it for now. We'll have...
At number 7 is an album that actually came out in September of 1987. And this album has been so strong that it's continued to churn out hit after hit all the way through 1988. Great songs like Shake Your Love and Only in My Dreams. Songs that were written, produced, and performed by the second of our 2 teenagers in our album survey. From her mega album Out of the Blue, here is Debbie Gibson. The album that introduced Debbie Gibson to America and the world. That's Out of the Blue, the 7th biggest selling LP of 1988.
By the cafe in one scene. My grandfather plays the guy selling the flowers, and my little cousin is the kid on the skateboard who skates by and grabs the flowers. And my sax player, you see him on the left of the screen, playing sax on the street corner. I like to get everyone involved.
Music, and this album has a lot more variety, and I'm into all kinds of music, so I feel that this is a better representation of me. And also I was more involved with the production, and we spent about 4.5, 5 months on it, as opposed to the first album, which we did in a month and a half, because the Only in My Dreams was peaking, and Atlantic was like, where's the album? We had about 6 weeks to do the entire thing, so I really feel much more strongly about this.
Will be considerably more low-key than Electric Youth, with a concept that involves 3 couples in different stages of life. Debbie is once again co-directing with Jim Yukich, and the video will feature cameos from Debbie's sister and her cousin.
Major pop stars turned out to pick up their high school diplomas.
First, on June 26th, came Debbie Gibson, who took part in a very low-key graduation ceremony at Calhoun High in Merrick, Long Island.
Deborah Gibson!
These poor tabloids who report all these other, but you and another young lady, Debbie Gibson, are pals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
And
pals.
why do they keep saying you're not?
Well,
I know why, because it sells papers.
And we're both young, yeah.
Yeah. Do you hang around? Do you talk? Because you have a lot of notes you could compare, I would
Well,
think.
we leave notes wherever we're at. Because we're so busy, we don't really get to spend time and hang out.
Yeah.
But I'll leave a note and say, well, this is what to be, expected. People here are great,
Song Foolish Feet hit #1 the same month she graduated from high school. And here in New York, all these people are in line to see Debbie Gibson.
Teens, Debbie Gibson is already a seasoned veteran of the music wars. She was playing the piano at the age of 5 and writing songs at 6. She was so good so young that her parents built a multi-track studio at home for her to practice in.
I was always very confident, even when I was really little. I always had high goals, and I still do. I'm not even at the point where I want to be. I want to become a lot more successful. I started when I was 5 years old. I don't know why. It was just because I loved performing, I loved singing, I loved playing the piano. Watch the broom. Look out, guys. I just had a genuine love for it, and I always took it very seriously, and I always knew it would be my life.
Well, she was always very outgoing, and she was always very special. She was always a star, even at 2 years old. She took command of the living room.
Gibson cut more than 100 demos of her own songs at home. She picked up studio skills so well that today she not only writes, arranges, and performs her own material, she's even produced her own records.
I find it completely amazing that you do all of these things and you do them all so well.
It's murder in the basement.
It's terrific.
I'm definitely a workaholic, definitely.
At 18, you're a workaholic.
I've always been. I've been this way since I was 5 years old. I'd be doing children's theater in the afternoon and then the college production at night or something. I don't know why, but I thrive on having 18 million things to do.
It's completely amazing.
It's tiring, but it's fun.
Despite becoming a superstar at age 18, Gibson doesn't fear she's peaked early. She says there's still plenty left to strive for.
What are your goals? Where do you feel
my
you can
goal really is to have, a long and steady career. I don't really care about being the hottest, hyped star at the moment,
Yeah.
I just really want to always be able to record and tour. Billy Joel is my all-time favorite. And the way his career is, he doesn't have to have a hit record to go do a tour.
Right.
He has it following, and that's really where I want to be.
Her hit song Out of the Blue for her high school sweetheart, Anthony. Until next week,
This is Debbie Gibson on Smash Hits with Scott Shannon. Go on, vote for your favorites.
Tell us about it.
Well, Debbie Gibson has a unique way of writing a song. She tries to imagine the song as she's writing it. And in the beginning, in the introduction, there's a trumpet, and that reminded her of a castle. So she has guitars and cages. Her clothes are really elaborate, more than her usual jeans and sneakers kind of thing.
What you're saying is when Debbie Gibson writes a song, she visualizes the video as she's writing the lyrics.
Right, she kind of tries to picture what she's writing.
God, I love her stuff. She is so very creative. Any tour plans?
Yeah, right now she's getting together a new band for her summer tour.
Summer tour.
Summer tour.
You think we can get her by the dance party, man? What do you think?
Hopefully.
I thought you want to share with us about that, I suppose.
I'll skip that.
All right. I really appreciate your being here this
rocks you a Merry Christmas. Nick rocks you a Merry Christmas. Nick rocks you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Come on, everyone here and everyone at home. Ready? Nick rocks you a Merry Christmas. Nick rocks you a Merry Christmas. Nick rocks you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Year. 5. So, I mean, in my mind, it took 13 years to get here, and I'm very, very excited about it.
Former teen queen Debbie Gibson's grown up and got a new look and a new album called Anything's Possible. Debbie's gearing up for a worldwide tour starting in January. I dropped by on Debbie to see what she's been up to.
What have I been up to? Let's see, I've spent this whole year working on a new album, and it's called Anything is Possible. And let's see, I got off the road last December, and that's what I was doing for the whole previous year. So this is like the culmination of 2 very hectic years for me.
And about like the goody-goody image, do you feel like you had that or have it, or I mean, not like you tried, but I mean, you are.
I know. Go on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's funny because I totally realize that that's the image I project, and I almost like thrive on that after a while because it sets me apart. So I think, hey, this is kind of cool.
But it really is you, isn't it? I mean, is it you?
Well, let's put it this way. The part of it that is me is that I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and all that, right? Which I'm very proud to say, okay? That is the part of it that, but at the same time, I don't walk around, I'm not sugar sweet. I don't walk around saying, yes, hi, you know what I'm saying? Which I think is the misconception with goody-goody. If you say goody-goody means I'm like clean, meaning perfect. Perfect? No, I'm not perfect. But if you mean clean as in, like I said, like I don't use illegal substances, I'm clean cut, or whatever you want to say. But like I said, like I hate people who are really like so sugar sweet it makes you want to throw up, like in their daily lives. They're so like, yes, agreeing with everything and this and that, And that's what I think a lot of people have the impression that I am, which I'm not. I can like be very stubborn and aggressive when I want to be.
Debbie's definitely one of the most talented performers around. She writes, plays, sings, and dances. And these days, Debbie is expanding. Not just her look, but her sound.
I think pretty much everything's grown. I mean, I feel vocally I've grown. So, I'm looking forward to doing more. What's the word I'm looking for? Songs with like a broader range, which is what I did on this album. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to doing those songs live. And I think that the arrangements have gotten more intricate. And I think at this point what will be fun to do is to go back and kind of rework some of the stuff from the first and second albums, to do live. And not just duplicate what's on the record, give the people something new. That's what I'm looking to do.
Next week, the Debster and I get goofy, but in the meantime, check out Debbie's latest release, Anything's Possible, and her new home video, Debbie Gibson Live Around the World, from A-Vision and Atlantic Records. Proved to be an enlightening experience. I found out that, there's a slightly goofy side to the oh-so-serious teen queen.
Do you consider yourself like a real serious kind of person? I mean, you're very, like, mature, really polished. Or wait, this is either, like, all, like, a front, and, you probably have, like, a jar of peanut butter. Like, no, are you?
I am goofy. You see, it's funny, because when I get into this, like, mode, right, when I start talking about my music and everything, I know everything comes across real serious, but I'm goofy. I'm very goofy. I have a corny sense of humor, but I just don't want to display it to everybody out there in TV land. I'll just keep that in my own house and let only my family make fun of me.
Well, the Debsters got a new sound, a new look, and a brand new trend-setting hairdo.
No, but I got my hair cut a couple of months ago. I just decided that it wasn't working anymore. I've had long straight hair since I was old enough to have long straight hair, I mean, I just kind of always let my hair grow and grow and grow and grow and just kept trimming it and trimming it and trimming it. And that's gone on for 20 years, and I thought, how about a change?
A lot of people think that. They're like, oh, my God, I can't go get my hair cut. I talked to, like, so many girls and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now, wait a second. This is not my hair. These are, like, extensions. So my hair wouldn't grow and grow. I've been growing my hair, growing and growing and growing it. And for some reason, it just doesn't grow and grow and grow. So, you cut your hair and I go get more put in, you know. But
Maybe that's my hair.
Yeah, this is the resold Debbie Gibson hair. That's what this is. But anyway, can you kind of, we have a lot of girls that watch the show, so that they may see your new look, which looks great, by the way. And so I want to go get my hair cut, but I'm scared. Do I get it cut short? What should I do?
Well, go, see, some girls have long hair, and that's part of what makes them feel comfortable, you know. But for me, I feel like I'm really outgoing, and that I just wanted something like bouncy kind of, and fun and fresh and different, whatever. I don't know. But this is kind of like, this little flip thing is like a 60s kind of thing, and I love the 60s, and so I tried to combine all the elements. Yeah. I kind of drew a little stick figure with this haircut on it, and the guy did it, basically.
Don't try that at home.
So don't be frightened.
But if you can't draw well, stay away from the stick figures. Debbie's broadened her horizons from her old style and hopes to attract a brand new set of fans.
You know, and it's amazing how if I take a really, I'll just use the term sappy because I love sappy ballads. But sometimes if you put a sappy ballad in the midst of cooler, slicker ballads, it's amazing how many people will suddenly say they like that sappy ballad. It's like psychological. It's the funniest thing to me. But I think, let's put it this way. I know that there are a lot of people that buy my album and like pop music in general and put it in a brown paper bag under their bed so that nobody in the dorm will see it, and there are those closet pop fans. Right. Maybe this album will help you all come out of the closet. Not insinuating anything else there, but no, seriously, it does have elements I think that are more maybe for older people more publicly acceptable.
There you go. That's what I heard anyway. So now we've heard it here. So come out of the closet, okay? Come out of the closet and check out Debbie Gibson on tour starting in January and pick up her new album, Anything Is Possible, along with her just-released home video, Debbie Gibson Live Around the World. Available from A-Vision and Atlantic Records.
Do you watch the show up there?
Yes. Everybody watches.
Everybody at your school, too?
Yep.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Your song is doing so great. We love dancing to it here, only in my dreams. Can we expect a video soon?
Yes, the video should be out shortly.
Okay, and what about an album?
The album will be out early summer. We're currently working on production.
Okay, looking forward to it. Now, how many songs have you written so far? I read somewhere that you are considered one of the top songwriters and will be one of the most influential songwriters in the next 3 years. That's some kind of compliment. How many songs have you written?
Well, I've written over 150 in the past 4 years.
Oh, this is Laurie O'Donnell. She's got a question for you, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How do you handle both your schoolwork and your recording career? You must be so busy.
Well, I am busy. I travel on the weekends, perform on the weekends, and I still go to regular high school, public high school.
And this is Mitch. He's got a question for you, too.
Wait, real quick. With your busy schedule and all, you have any time for a boyfriend?
Well, usually if I go out with someone, it lasts like a month because, truthfully, I don't get to see them too often. But there'll be time for that.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Debbie. You ready to sing your song? Yep. Mitch, why don't you escort Debbie over to stage right, and I will remind everybody that they can be a part of the dance party just by writing in. Always include a self-addressed stamped envelope. The address is coming up in a few minutes. Right now, it is indeed a great pleasure on behalf of everybody at Dance Party USA to present Atlantic recording artist Debbie Gibson.
Every time I feel a secret, I Shake your love. I shake and shake your love. Shake your love. I shake and shake your love. Do you know why I stop and stare and smile when you walk by? And now I call you up at night. I hang up the phone and I cry. If I never got to know you so well, maybe I would be fine.
T.J. Martell Foundation for Cancer and AIDS Research were among the stars at one of the music industry's favorite charities. The T.J. Martell Foundation for Cancer and AIDS Research was the beneficiary.
I've met a lot of kids with leukemia, cancer, and, you know, that's what makes it personal to me.